Hi guys, Maria Tecce here. Today I want to give you a few more Zoom hacks. Now I've been getting a lot of feedback from clients about Zoom fatigue. You're zoomed out by the end of the week because it's so intense and it's such a different kind of way of being present with other people that it can get really exhausting. So today I want to give you 3 tips, Zoom hacks on how to avoid or how to help with Zoom fatigue. So the first one, dictate how people see their screen. There's a few different controls that you have as the host, and you can choose how people actually view their screen. So instead of having gallery view, which gives you just all of everyone, try speaker view, because what happens is when each person speaks, they become the focal point of the screen. And that can really help, because what happens when we just see a sea of faces is we don't know where to focus. And that means a lack of clarity. And of course, one of the most important things with physical and vocal presence is clarity. So when you have speaker view, what happens is we understand immediately where our focus is supposed to go. And you also have control, of course, we all know this now, of muting and unmuting microphones, who is on the meeting, who isn't, who gets to share screens, who doesn't. There are all kinds of permissions that you can work with. So that can really help. And instead of us wasting energy trying to figure out where our focus should be, when you're on speaker view, it's very clear. So people see right away, okay, this is the person who's speaking, and it's very clear. And our brains love clarity because it means we have to do less work. So that's the first tip, is go onto speaker view instead of gallery view. Second tip, when people enter the meeting, refer to them directly by name. So when Frank logs in, say, "Hi Frank, how are you?" Immediately what that does, it includes them. And secondly, it makes them feel special and it makes them feel acknowledged, which means they're going to invest more in that meeting because they will feel like, I know this person knows I'm here. I've claimed my seat. So greet people as they come onto the meeting. And it really helps. Again, it's about clarity. You're being very clear. This person has joined the meeting and you acknowledge them. It gives people a bit of investment in that next hour or however long it is that's going to happen. Also, if you continue to refer to people individually, it also helps just keep us on our toes a little bit, because if you call on someone and they've basically been on their phone for the last 15 minutes, then they're not going to know what's been going on and they're not going to know how to respond to what's just been said. And when people understand by continuing to refer to people individually, it sets up an atmosphere of alertness. Because if you know that the host is acknowledging you and knows and sees you, because sometimes on Zoom meetings, we kind of figure, well, we're not really being seen because there's so many people on the meeting. If there are more than, say, 5 or 6 people on the meeting, we kind of figure, well, we can just kind of drift back into the crowd. If you continue to refer to people individually by name, A, it keeps them feeling special, and B, it is immediately inclusive. You include them immediately in the action and what's going on. So they have a bit of investment in what's going on. And also it keeps us on our toes. Number 3, resist the urge to multitask. This is a really tricky one because Zoom it's almost like you're once removed from everybody else. And you figure if your hand is down here, people are going to think that you might just be looking at someone down on the screen where you're actually just looking at your phone and being a bit sneaky about it. What happens is it's very easy to do, and we've all done it. Or you could be working on your laptop and it kind of looks like you're looking at the screen, but what you're really doing is doing work. And your microphone might be muted so people can't hear you. Or you might be looking at your phone, or you might be writing something down. There's all kinds of ways that we can diffuse our attention. So as the host, if you set up the guidelines at the beginning of the meeting, for instance, you could say, Okay, everyone, so just so everyone knows how this is going to go, how this is going to roll out over the next hour or however long the meeting is, you can talk about, I'm going to mute everyone. You can unmute yourself when you want to speak. If you refrain from multitasking or going onto your phone or laptop, that would be fantastic. So just say it at the beginning and you kind of set out your stall. And there's little tips and guidelines for pretty much all Zoom meetings now. And if you say them at the beginning, it just helps everyone, unconsciously or consciously, to understand what's expected of them over the next hour. And again, it's clarity. It's just being really clear. Now, whether or not people adhere to those guidelines or whether or not they respect them, it's completely out of your control. But if you set out your stall at the beginning, it helps us as an audience understand what's expected of us for the rest of the meeting. What people do with that afterwards is not in your control. But again, if you look at the first two tips, then that will also help keep people engaged. Okay, so those are just a few tips or tricks to help a bit with this Zoom fatigue that we can kind of feel sometimes. And a lot of it is about clarity and specificity, being clear and specific with people and how the meeting is going to run and how people will see their screens. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Please leave me a comment below. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can contact me on LinkedIn or Facebook on my page. Okay, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, speak it loud, speak it proud, and speak it public. See you next time.